we're aboard the Sun Princess, the first of its kind in the Princess Cruises fleet.
And we're here to do an episode about the ship because it is the first of its kind, so there's no other ship like this. So basically, everyone on the ship right now have only been on the ship for the first time. So everything's new. And by the way, if we're getting ready to go out for dinner, in case you're wondering why we are dressed up like this. But going back to our episode for today, there's a lot of things on the ship you'll notice if you get on board the ship that is completely different from the previous class of ships. And so, yeah, we're going to tell you which one of those that we like and not like. But of course, to each his own. We all have our different tastes.
Yeah, it boils down to personal preferences.
So perhaps we might also show you some things that we'd also like. The Cabana Suite is one of the things that we like, and it's pretty great. So, and if there's anything you want to let us know about your likes and dislikes about the ship, let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Now we're going to start with the embarkation or boarding the ship. First of all, we are pretty anxious. This is a new ship. We don't know really what to expect. We've only seen a limited amount of reviews on it. Now, we are used to the Royal class ships because those are the ships that we have cruised on in Princess. So we are a little worried about what we're going to see inside the ship. And true enough, here we are being herded into this narrow corridor with rooms on either side. It's not a truly welcoming experience compared to the Royal class ships, where you walk in and you're ushered into this wide open area, and it gives you this wonderful feeling of relief that you finally started your vacation and you're in this wonderful wide open area of the ship. Meanwhile, on the Sphere class ship, you are greeted by this long narrow hallway. And wait a minute, what is this? It's a brand new ship. What is with the peeling wallpaper? But to be fair, that is the only peeling wallpaper we ever noticed on the entire cruise. Now, let's make our way to the piazza, because that is one of the things that everybody seems to talk about on the ship. Now, there is something in the piazza here. Just watch closely. See, that could cause you to trip, because there is actually a very slight angle on the floor that goes up as you approach the center of the piazza. It's very slight. You really don't see it until you almost trip on it. And so they have all these signs here to prevent that from happening. So there's a thing, you have to keep your eye open. But for now, my medallion is acting up, my medallion isn't working. Let's find the customer service desk. And here we are at the customer service desk. The whole place is plugged up with people, and it's not the same as with the previous ships because they never had the guest service just in front of the elevators. And they have this much larger area where people could line up and wait. Meanwhile, on the Sun Princess, you got these long lines impeding access to the elevators on this section of Deck 6. Now let's go to the Dome, which is actually a good place to relax, especially in the afternoons, until you get this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed your experience in the Dome.
Really?
At this time, we are going to ask you to please relocate to one of our other venues around the festival so we can have the Dome for future events. Thank you for your understanding. And have a great day ahead.
So just when you're relaxing in the afternoon after lunch, which is the best time to relax, you have to be kicked out of the Dome so they can prepare it for the shows that are coming up in the evening. So we find ourselves on the top deck, just relaxing out here, which is actually a nice place to see kids playing pickleball over there. But this place was supposed to be called Park 19, and it was supposed to look like this. But everything was canceled, all the amenities were canceled, and now this is what we have. For us, that's a great thing, because we want peace and quiet, and we don't want a playground on top of the ship. But for some of you who were expecting Park 19, you might be disappointed. Now let's go to the cabin. Let's have a look here. You see, there's the space between your bed and the wall is pretty tight here. You have this nightstand, which is noticeably a lot more narrow than the ones on the previous class of ship. It's you got a night light over there, which is great, but it's really tight. Now compare this to the Royal class ship. As you can see, the drawers are wider. Of course, you don't have the night light, but there's much more space. And here you don't. Now let's go to the hallway between the closet and your bathroom. Why is that an issue? Well, you see there's a door here. The closet has a door which is kind of flimsy, but you know it's not really a problem. We may have a longevity issue in the future, but not right now. Our issue right now is how it, you see that, how it bangs against the bathroom door if somebody happens to be grabbing some clothes and you have to go in the bathroom, or if you have to get out of the bathroom while somebody is picking clothes. So compared to the Royal class ship, that is not a problem because a closet has no door and you can openly access your bathroom without banging into a closet door. As for here, you see this, it's happened quite a few times where somebody is, you see that, it's just a tight space where doors are banging against each other. It's a little annoying sometimes. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a little annoying. So I wish they did not have that door. You don't need that door in the closet, really. So now let's go into the bathroom. See how the shower stall door opens this way? Now, I personally think it should open the other way because, you see, sometimes you have your stuff on the counter there or beside the sink. And at certain times when you're in the shower, you just need to grab something and you can't because there's a door blocking your way. So you have to step out or reach around while you're dripping wet with sometimes, shampoo. Now, in my opinion, if the door actually swung open that way, I think it'll be much better. You'll have easy access to your stuff that you might need in the shower while you are having a shower. Now let's talk about the shower controls. I like the location because you have easy access to it because you can turn on the shower and set the temperature while you're standing outside the shower stall, but you'll have a tendency to hit it with your elbow because of its location. So just be careful when you're taking a shower and know that the controls are right beside you, not in front. Now, what is wrong with this full-length mirror? Well, there's just not enough space in front of it for you to be able to look at yourself properly. It just feels like you're standing right up against your face every time you're looking at the mirror. It's too close. In fact, every time I stood in front of this mirror, I just had the urge to push it away. It's like, I just want this thing further away. It's too close. I just wanted to push it away every time. Now, if they put the mirror right here, I think it would have been better because that gives you enough room and select the distance however you want to get closer or farther from the mirror, and you could actually look at yourself and what you're wearing. And here we are back in the dome. Remember earlier in the afternoon when we were kicked out because they had to prepare the place for a show? Well, here's the show, but guess what? There's not enough seating and a lot of people have to stand up to watch the show. Also, the sound system in the dome is quite bad. In fact, it is horrible. There's no other way to describe it. And what I mean by that is that this sound system they got here is not good when you have to listen to what the person in front is saying. It's good for dancing, it's good for music, but not when you have to listen to someone. Because I only understood 3 jokes from this entire show that lasted 45 minutes. Try to see if you can understand what he's saying. And it doesn't help that he's holding the microphone so far away from his mouth. Now let's give it a second shot and listen and try again. I mean, the echo in this place is so bad. I think shows like this are better off being held here in Princess Live, because the sound system here is much better for comedy shows. Going back to our cabin, every night we like to watch a little bit of TV before actually going to bed. But about 3 times during the cruise, we would try to watch something, and this is all we get. We get buffering, and then there's nothing. We try different movies, we try different shows, same thing, same result, just buffering and nothing. And this happened for 3 nights. Now this is something that we're all familiar with, and this is a door to the other cabin that gives you an option to make the other cabin an adjoining cabin. Now the problem with this one is there is no seal or weather stripping around the door, so the door is not airtight. What actually happened to us in this cruise is our next door neighbor would leave their cabana door open, and because of the way the ventilation system on the ship is set up, air would go through the little gap around the door. So it was getting humid and hot in our room because air from the outside, from the adjoining cabin, would go through and squeeze between the door and the frame. And so we had to put tape around it because we like our room cold all the time. Luckily, we had some tape with us, but we ran out of tape. So we called room service, and they came in and sealed it up with masking tape. So that's what happens. If your next door neighbor opens their cabana for an extended amount of time, hot, humid air will come rushing into your room through that adjoining door, and your room is going to get hot and humid.
You're bound to get lost navigating a new ship. Some places, such as restaurants and shops, can be hard to find, and overhead signs such as this could help identify them from a distance. Here's another example. With properly placed signs, people would not need to be in front of the shops to know where they are. The sign on the right is not very helpful because you can only read it when you're already standing in front of it. Now let's go to the restrooms by the eatery. Upon entering, you will see that there's 1, 2 stalls, but there's actually 5, but the 3 on the left are hidden. This causes lines to form because people think there's only 2 stalls.
Now let's go to the Princess Arena, which is the main theater on the ship. We're a little early because we want to be able to get some good seats, and we did. The problem is the leg room and all these seats all throughout the theater. It's pretty tight. As you can see, I had to put my feet underneath the seat in front of me so I could just sit comfortably. It's pretty tight. Anyhow, I'm walking around the ship looking for more things to dislike. But then I ended up here in the Promenade, and you know what? This place is pretty good. There's a lot of good seating in here, a lot of comfortable couches, as you can see, and you got the bar on one side and you got the sea view on the other side. This is actually a pretty good place to hang out. Now, I can't say that I dislike this because I actually like it. Now, at the end of the Promenade, you'll find the Americana Diner, which we love.
They have burgers, milkshakes, steak, ribs, pancakes, waffles, and my favorite, shrimp and grits. Welcome to Umi Teanyaki, one of my absolute favorite dining experiences from this cruise. From the moment we sat down, the atmosphere was electric, filled with energy, laughter, and the kind of excitement that makes memories unforgettable. Our interaction with the chef was a true highlight. His skill and showmanship turned the preparation of our meal into a performance that had us all cheering. And our steaks, whether rare, medium well, were cooked to perfection. This stunning 2-level dining room offers an elegant atmosphere with floor-to-ceiling windows that frame the breathtaking view of the ship's wake. It's the perfect blend of fine dining and natural beauty, creating a wonderful experience at sea.
Let's step outside the ship for a second. Now look at that sphere. Doesn't it look weird? It looks like a distortion in the fabric of space and time that's just stuck onto the side of the ship. But anyway, I want to talk about this entryway, which is a big improvement over the other ships. It's got 3 lanes compared to the Royal class ship, which only has 2. So to me, that is a good thing because you could move more people quickly. The View Terrace. It's in front of the ship, right above the bridge. And it's a nice space in front of the dome where you could relax. It's got a lot of nice loungers in there. There's a pool. And this is our favorite spot. We like to lay out here, out in the sun, with a perfect view of the bow of the ship. We even have a better view than the captain, if you believe that, because we are above the bridge. I mean, this entire area is as wide as a bridge, but it is above the bridge. So, really, we have a better view than the captain. Depending on where the ship is headed, this is the perfect place to watch the sunset. Back to our suite. Now, as we mentioned earlier, we love the Cabana Mini Suite, and it's only available right now on this ship, and that makes this ship really special. Now, I did a full-length video on the Cabana Mini Suite, so I would suggest you check our channel and go to episode 070 or episode 70 to see the details about the suite. Speaking of our suite, The soft closing toilet seat and toilet seat cover are just great. I love them because I used to bang these things at night. So now there's none of that happening anymore. And also, the glass shower stall is so much better than the curtains that they had on the other ship, as well as the heated mirrors so the mirror doesn't fog up after you shower. Another thing that I've seen only on the ship is the silent disco, which is absolutely great. You could select your music and you could just dance to whatever tune you have on your headset. And nobody cares what you're listening to. You just go and dance the night away.
We are now at the eatery. This is not your typical self-serve buffet. You can point and the server will give you your food. This is good for hygiene purposes, but the downside is it can create long lines. At the eatery, there's a grab-and-go section where you can grab your prepackaged sandwiches, cookies, salads, and desserts.
You know, I've always been used to having the International Cafe at the bottom level of the piazza because that's how they are in the Royal class ships. And for the first day or two, maybe I didn't like it being next to the eatery, but you know what? I got used to it real quick, and you know what? I really like it.
Welcome on board.
It's so convenient after, after coming from the eatery, you can just grab a dessert and go. So it's a good setup. And how about this? This is the first time I ever attended a science lecture aboard a cruise ship. This is Professor Shelley Boners from the UCLA talking about galaxies and black holes and the formation of stars. For science nerds like me, this was such a treat. Now I only wish they would do this on every cruise. As far as entertainment goes, I would say it's on the same level as the other ships, but on this one, the audience was invited to go on stage and dance with the cast after the show, and that was such a blast.
We're now at the Good Spirits cocktail bar, which is conveniently located just outside the Princess Arena. Compared to the other ships where Good Spirits is out in the open, this space feels more cozy and private because it is enclosed.
If you're a gambler, you might like this because Sun Princess has the largest casino in all of the Princess fleet. Now, as for me, I don't really gamble, so it doesn't really matter to me.
You're too sweet for me. Take my whiskey, please.
Another thing we liked was they had early karaoke and late karaoke 3 times during the cruise, which means everybody who wanted to sing got the chance to get on stage.
Now let's go to O'Malley's Irish pub. Actually, this place turned out to be one of our regular hangouts. We got good drinks, and at night they got live performers playing, of course, Irish music. One thing I consider a big improvement are these smart elevators because you can just punch in whichever floor you want to go to. It tells you which elevator to go to, and the elevators will basically combine people who go to certain decks. So you have fewer stops because the elevators consolidate people going to certain decks. And that makes the elevators run more efficiently, especially in high traffic situations. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. We came aboard this ship biased against it. And I was expecting to dislike most of the ship because we are partial towards the Royal class ships, as you probably noticed. But you know what? The more time you spend on this ship, the more it grows on you. Like the first 2 days, sure, we got lost. But the layout makes a lot of sense, and it's so easy to find your way around the ship. The ship is 20% bigger than the Royal class ship, but it doesn't feel like that. Everything feels so close. And that is how you could tell that they did a good job on the ship layout.
Although we had some anxiety before boarding this ship, we quickly felt at home within the first 2 days because the deck plan was so easy to learn. We went from worrying about the new layout to loving the ship at the end of the cruise. We cannot wait to sail on this class of ship again, so we booked a cruise on her sister ship, the Star Princess, when she sails in Alaska. Subscribe to this channel to join us on our next adventure and live your best life, everyone!